Let's talk about something nobody prepares you for when you take a new job. The work itself, you can handle. The politics, the pressure, the long hours, you can figure that out. But a difficult boss? That one hits different because it doesn't just affect your performance, it affects your sleep, your confidence, your entire relationship with work. And the worst part is, most people don't know what to do about it. So today, we're going to fix that. Whether your boss is a micromanager who breathes down your neck, someone who runs hot and cold like a broken radiator, or someone who smiles to your face and then takes credit for everything you built, I've got you. This is She Wins. Here we talk about money, career, and mindset, and by the end of this video, you'll have a real strategy. Not just be positive advice, an actual game plan. Let's start with the micromanager. You know the type. They see themselves on every email. They ask for updates on the updates, they hover. And you're sitting there thinking, do you not trust me at all? Here's the thing most people get wrong about micromanagers. They assume it's personal. It's not. Micromanagers are anxious people. They need control because uncertainty makes them spiral. That's a them problem. But it becomes your problem the moment it affects your work. So here's how to handle it. Step 1. Give them information before they ask for it. I know that sounds backwards. You're already overwhelmed and now I'm telling you to do more. But here's why it works. When your boss asks for updates constantly, it's because they feel out of the loop. Their brain fills the silence with worst-case scenarios. The fix is simple. Remove the silence. Send a short end-of-day message, 2 or 3 sentences. What you worked on, what's in progress, what's coming next. That's it. When they feel informed, they stop chasing you. You trade 5 minutes a day for hours of peace. Step 2. Propose, don't just ask. Micromanagers hate open-ended requests. What should I do about this? Makes them feel like they need to solve everything for you. Instead, come with options. I'm thinking we do X because of Y. Does that work for you? Now you're not asking for permission. You're asking for a quick sign-off. That's a completely different dynamic. And slowly, over time, it builds trust. Because trust is what micromanaging is really about. Once they trust you, the grip loosens. Step 3. Have the conversation. At some point, you may need to name it directly, not as an attack, as a professional conversation about how you work best. Something like, I want to make sure I'm delivering exactly what you need. Can we agree on check-in points so we're both aligned without it slowing down the work? You're not confronting them. You're collaborating on a better system. Big difference. Now let's talk about the emotionally unpredictable boss. This one is harder, because with a micromanager, the behavior is consistent, annoying, but consistent. With an emotionally unpredictable boss, you never know what you're walking into. Some days they're your biggest fan. Other days you say good morning, and they look at you like you insulted their mother. And that unpredictability is exhausting, because you start spending more mental energy managing their mood than doing your actual job. Here's what you need to understand. Their emotional state is not a reflection of your worth. Say that again. Their emotional state is not a reflection of your worth. The days they snap at you, ignore you, or seem cold, those are not data points about how good you are. They are data points about how regulated they are. And those are 2 very different things. Once you separate the 2 in your head, you stop internalizing every bad interaction. That alone will protect your confidence, but you still need to function around them. So, here's what works. First, don't match their energy. When they come in hot, the instinct is to either fight back or shrink. Do neither. Stay calm. Steady. Let them be the one who's all over the place while you remain the most grounded person in the room. That's not weakness. That's power. And people notice. Second, protect yourself with documentation. If your boss gives you feedback, instructions, or decisions verbally, follow up by email. Just confirming what we discussed. You want me to do X by Friday, right? It's professional. It keeps things clear. And if things ever go sideways, you have a paper trail. This isn't paranoia. This is being smart. Third, find your anchor outside of them. Your sense of safety at work cannot depend entirely on whether your boss is having a good day. That's a terrifying way to live. Build relationships with colleagues. Document your wins. Keep a record of your accomplishments. Know your value, independently of their validation. Because if you're only as confident as your boss makes you feel, you're giving them way too much power. Now let's talk about the one that makes my blood boil a little. The credit stealer. This is the boss who sits in your brainstorm, says nothing, and then walks into the boardroom and presents your idea as their own. You watch it happen in real time. Your concept, your words, your work, delivered with their name on it. And you're left sitting there wondering, did that really just happen? Yes, it did. And you're not imagining it. Credit stealing is one of the most demoralizing things that can happen at work because it doesn't just hurt your career. It messes with your sense of reality. You start questioning yourself. Maybe I didn't contribute that much. Maybe I'm overreacting. You're not. So here's how you protect yourself. The first rule, create a paper trail before the meeting, not after. Share your ideas in writing. Send an email to your boss before the presentation. Here's a summary of what I'm proposing for tomorrow. Now there's a timestamp. Now there's evidence. It doesn't have to be confrontational. It just has to exist. The second rule, speak up in the room. I know this feels uncomfortable, but if your boss starts presenting your idea and you're in the meeting, you are allowed to add to it. Say something like, yes, and building on what I shared with the team last week. You're not calling them out. You're inserting yourself back into the narrative, calmly, professionally, but clearly. The third rule, make your work visible to more than just your boss. If only one person knows what you contribute, you are completely dependent on that one person to represent you fairly. That is a dangerous position. Copy relevant stakeholders on key updates. Present your own work when you can. Build relationships with people above and around your boss. The more people who know what you're doing, the harder it becomes for anyone to erase you. And, if the pattern continues, document it, escalate it, or decide that a boss who steals your ideas is a boss who is threatened by you. And that says everything about them and nothing about you. Now, before we wrap up, I want to say something that applies to all three of these situations. Sometimes the situation doesn't improve. You try the strategies, you have the conversations, you do everything right, and the boss is still making your life miserable. In that case, you have to ask yourself a harder question. Is this still worth it? Not every job is worth your mental health. Not every boss is going to change. And sometimes the most powerful move you can make is deciding you deserve better. And actually leaving. That's not quitting. That's choosing yourself. So let's recap. If you're dealing with a micromanager, communicate proactively, come with solutions, not questions, and have a direct conversation about how you work best. If you're dealing with an emotionally unpredictable boss, don't internalize their moods, stay grounded, document everything, and build your confidence outside of their approval. If you're dealing with a credit stealer, create paper trails before meetings, speak up in the room, and make your work visible to more than just your boss. And if nothing works, know that staying is a choice, and so is leaving. You always have options. That's what She Wins is about. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs it. And if you want more content like this, unsubscribe. There's a lot more coming. Take care of yourself. I'll see you. Keep winning.